Hi everyone, welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we're going to be making this very colorful beanie. For this project, I'm going to be using size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn. And I'm just using a ton of different scrap yarn that I have left over from other beanies. So I highly encourage you to gather up all of your scrap yarn colors to make this beanie. You can also just grab any skeins that are the colors that you want to alternate. I'm also going to be using a size F or 5 crochet hook. To get started with this pattern, you're going to need to check out the precursor to this video, and that is my How to Crochet a Beanie Brim video. And I will link to that in the description. So for this project, you're going to want to crochet a brim that is 25 stitches deep and roughly 16 to 18 inches long. And make sure you've ended this on the side that is on the opposite side of your starting tail, and then just join the two edges like I show you how to do with the slip knots in that video. And once you're done joining your two edges together, it should look like this. So now go ahead and fold up your brim to hide that ridge there, like this. And I went ahead and sectioned my beanie off into 4 equal parts. And so picking up where we left off, where we connected the two edges together, we're going to place a slip stitch in the corresponding stitch on this opposite edge here. But we're going to yarn over with our next color. And from here, we're going to chain 1. And from here, we're going to place 90 single crochets going all the way around our row. And this chain 1 counts as our first single crochet. And since 90 isn't divisible by 4 evenly, what you're going to want to do is place 22 single crochets, then 23, 22, and then 23. And since we don't have any traditional stitches, you're just going to have to place these single crochets inside of these loops along the edge here. Like that. And the goal here is to try to space these out as evenly as possible, and that's the reason why we section off the beanie. So go ahead and place your 90 single crochets, including that chain 1 stitch. And once you have your 90 single crochets, it should look like this. So from here, I'm going to give you 2 options. The first one is to slip stitch into the top of your chain 1 stitch here, and just yarn over with your next color. Or you can cut and tie off your yarn. And I'm going to be cutting and tying off my yarn just to show you what that's like. And so if you're following my method, then the next thing you're going to want to do is attach the yarn to your crochet hook using a slip knot. And if you follow the other method, then you'll already have your next color on your crochet hook. And so if you slip stitched into your chain right here, then what you're going to want to do is chain 1 again, and then you're going to place 1 single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch in your row. And if you're following the method that I am, then you're going to insert your crochet hook up underneath the back loop only of that chain stitch, just like that. And then you're going to place your single crochet. And so from here, you're just going to continue placing single crochets in the back loop only of each stitch in your row, regardless of which method you're using. And when you get to the end of your row, you can either slip stitch into the top of your chain 1 stitch, or you can cut and tie off your yarn. And from here, we're just going to keep following that exact same pattern for multiple rows. So repeat that last row over and over and over again. So I went ahead and placed 18 rows of placing 1 single crochet in the back loop only, and I was just cutting and tying off my yarn. So now we're going to turn this inside out. And as you can see, it looks a little bit different on the other side. So whichever side you like more, go ahead and turn it inside out from that. And once you are on the side that you don't want facing out, then all you're going to do is tie these like colored tails together. And just make sure you work from the bottom up, and you're going to want to tie these as tightly as you can. And I like to secure them with 3 knots. And once you're done tying those tails together and you've turned it right side in again, it should look like this. So the next step is to cut a strand of yarn that is roughly 2 feet in length. And then all we're going to do is just weave this strand along the top of our beanie. And I like to start that where my seam is right here. So you're probably going to want to weave about every inch to inch and a half. Like that. So go ahead and weave your strand of yarn all the way along the edge of your beanie here. And once you're done weaving along the top edge, then go ahead and grab the 2 ends of your strand of yarn and pull them nice and tight to sort of cinch up that top. And all you're going to do is just tie these 2 yarn strand ends together. And keep in mind you can break the yarn here, so you kind of have to find a balance, and I like to tie them together 3 times. And in the description, I'm going to link to my DIY pom-pom maker. Please let me know in the comments below if you experienced any issues while you were making this, and I will do my best to help you out. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Lipstick on a Rig. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.